Morning world, it's about 20 past 10 on the 25th of July 2017. This is my video on Jupiter square Pluto. Now, in order to understand the full meaning of this, we need to go back quite a bit of time. Pluto, over this last couple of years, has been particularly influencing those people born over the period of about approximately the 4th through to the 10th of July, January, April, October. It's been sitting on, opposite or square the suns. It's also been trining a number of people born on those dates in Taurus and Virgo, and sextiling those people born in Scorpio and Pisces on those dates. So it's not all bad. The thing is that starting around October, November of last year, Jupiter in Libra started to square Pluto. It became exact around about mid-late November of last year. And that was the start of a 9-month process. And what I find myself saying to people, dealing with a lot of clients who have been affected by Pluto in the last couple of years, is that the Jupiter-Pluto square of mid-November 2016 through to mid-August of 2017 is very much a kind of focused heat tank, if you like, of this whole Plutonian process. Jupiter is amplifying Pluto's more subversive undercurrents, and it's creating a lot of situations where I'm saying to a number of clients they need to watch their back, that there's stuff going on behind the scenes, there's an element of subversiveness, and that situations are being made to be much larger than they actually are. There's an energy of being over the top or larger than life, biting off more than you can chew, mountains made out of molehills. The thing is, with the movements of Mars in the last few weeks, and minor planets such as the Sun and Mercury, the period of the very end of June 2017 through to about the 7th, 8th of August 2017 is seen as a 6-week period, which in many ways is not only summarising the last 9 months, but also for many people the last couple of years. And it's what I call the pimple on top of the boil. Now, with Jupiter squaring Pluto, looking at the mythology and the archetypes, when the Olympians defeated finally the Titans, the 3 leaders of the Olympians, the 3 male leaders, Zeus stroke Jupiter, Poseidon stroke Neptune, and Hades stroke Pluto, split the firmament into 3. Poseidon took the water world, Jupiter took the overworld, and Pluto took the underworld. Now Jupiter and Pluto, brothers, the biggest planet, the smallest planet, are squaring each other for the 3rd and final time. And this is bringing a sense of the underworld being forced into the open, as well as the overworld being repressed and held down. And when you've got the overworld and the underworld really fighting each other, there's going to be fractures, which is why I think this is a big earthquake aspect and volcano aspect. A number of you have been emailing me about earthquakes and volcanoes, and yes, there's been a few earthquakes. There's been a lot of minor earthquakes on the west coast. There's been a few earthquakes, minor earthquakes in northern India and Nepal. There's been some quite serious ones on the Ring of Fire around the Philippines and the areas of New Guinea, the Moluccan Islands, and the western side of the Ring of Fire. There's also been quite a lot of volcanoes. Italy is an area also that I expect to see a few more earthquake/volcanoes in the coming couple of weeks. But because there's been so many little ones, theoretically we're not going to see the big one. But if we are going to see the big one, Jupiter-Pluto is a classic square which would represent that big one. So, antennae up. There are going to be some explosive developments, both globally and personally, over the coming couple of weeks, which can be laid astrologically at the door of Jupiter square Pluto. Situations are going to get heated, larger than life and over the top, and the sensible person will not buy into the hype and spin. Because otherwise, not only are you going to have to sort it all out, you also have to take the blame when it goes wrong. So for the world in general, my advice is clear. Until we're well into the second week of August, by which time Mercury will be retrograde, Jupiter isn't going to really properly finish its square to Pluto until early September, but the main influence is this next 2 weeks. So this is it now. We're on a count to 10. Now, just to bring just an element of lightness into this, Jupiter is about excess. And Pluto square Jupiter, there will be excess in some shape or form. So I thought, why not do an if that's actually quite excessive? So if you won the national lottery, if you won the big one, what is the first thing you would do? I know that many of you would then, you give a lot of money to things like Amnesty, Greenpeace, various aid charities. I know a lot of people would go and buy themselves some nice things or help the people around them. What is the first thing you would spend money on if you won the national lottery? If it were me, there's a few people from my past whom I would say thank you to by buying them, by either paying off their mortgage or buying them a house outright, so they never have to worry about where they're going to live again in the future. That is the first thing I would do. What would be the first thing you would do? Doing another video in a moment on the eclipses. Catch you later, world. Bye.